What's happening, everybody? Welcome back to the TB Toycast YouTube channel. As today we are unboxing from Rush Collectibles the brand new Chris Van Vliet retro figure. Very excited to dive into this one. Of course, Chris Van Vliet, kind of the wrestling podcaster these days, right? A lot of people see him on his podcast, on his YouTube channel, talking to everybody from guys like John Cena to Jesse the Body Ventura, people that we never would have expected to be on wrestling podcasts. Very, very cool. And I thought a really fun figure from Rush Collectibles to kind of help facilitate maybe a character in your fig fed you wouldn't necessarily expect to have, right? Because having Chris Van Vliet as a retro figure kind of allows you to have an interviewer for your retro guys, like, you know, interviewing your Mattel retros or your Zombie Sailor toy retros or whatever. And I thought this was a fun figure, and you know, I think it was a fun addition to the Rush Collectibles line. So, you know, looking at the figure here, really fun artwork there. Got the signature, of course, Chris Van Vliet right there. If you look back there, it actually includes a trading card, which is pretty fun. Rush Collectibles Special Edition. On the back, get a little bit more information here. Chris Van Vliet from Pickering, Canada, residing in Los Angeles, California. 4-time Emmy Award winner, YouTube personality. We got kind of the outline of his figure right there. Of course, follow Rush Collectibles there with the QR code. Of course, Chris Van Vliet you can follow on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, or the X, and then, of course, on Facebook, and then also chrisvanvliet.com. Of course, we got the slipcover type packaging. What do you guys think about that? I personally think this is excellent. And the reason I do is because you can throw this figure right back in the packaging if you so choose. But I get other people may not like that as well, so it's just kind of how you view it, I guess. But to me, I think it's a fun way to have your packaging. That way, you're also not ripping up the card, because, you know, if your figure is glued to the card, there's always those rips right there. So this way, the card's going to look very nice. We've seen Rush Collectibles do this. We've seen Mattel do this as well. I'm sure other companies may follow suit. May not be everybody's cup of tea, but it's kind of a fun, interesting thing. And then, of course, you know, Rush Collectibles, you know, had a couple of stumbles out of the gate with some of their retro figures, but these last several releases have all been really good, right? The Chris Van Vliet, I've heard nothing but good things about. Well, obviously, we're going to unbox it here and find out a little bit more. But I recently unboxed the Donald Trump, and it was a very good, well put together figure. The French Angel figure was another one I unboxed. I didn't unbox it here on the channel because it was before I started doing the YouTube channel, but it's an excellent figure as well. And of course, the Frankenstein will be coming up, which I'm excited to unbox. I have the cinematic version, which is the black and white Frankenstein that I picked up over at T-Villain. The regular colored Frankenstein will be coming soon, as well as the Kickstarter. If you're into the monster figures, definitely check out the Kickstarter over there from at Rush Collectibles. Frankenstein, Nosferatu, Cthulhu, the Rush Creature. We've unlocked the creature for sure. Like I said, a Sailor Zombie figure. I'm sure you can kind of guess where that came from. As well as Van Helsing is also unlocked. And as of this recording, we're very close to unlocking the Blob. So if you have not backed it, now is the time. Go check that out. I think it ends in just a few days, about 5 or 6 days as of this recording. So probably it's about to wrap up. So check that out over on Kickstarter. You can just search Rush Monster and it'll pop right up. But it's already been funded. So if you do it now and you buy one figure, you'll get all the unlockables. No extra charge. It's an amazing deal. So we also know Rush Collectibles has also recently announced the Golden Age of Heroes of Yesteryear, which are kind of old school comic book characters that people haven't really seen in a long time. I think that's a really fun idea. As retro figures, that's going to be absolutely excellent. We've also seen up for pre-order was a Fantasio / Spellbinder figure for the wrestling fans out there. I'm really excited about that one. Got that pre-ordered. The NES Pro Wrestling figures are already up for, they're already in production, which I'm really excited to get those. And how about Presidential Guts and Glory? If you've ever thought about getting a retro George Washington, well, now's going to be your chance over there at Rush Collectibles. Maybe taking a slight detour from wrestling, but I think it's really cool, and I think we're getting a lot of stuff that makes it a lot of fun, so I'm looking forward to getting those for sure. Now we're going to open up Chris Van Vliet here. Like I said, this very tight slip cover, so it's also taped down, so you know if it's been opened, which I think is a good thing. But like I said, leaves the card very, very nice. Of course, it's taped up. Get rid of that side of it, and we're going to pull the trading card off here. Look at that. The card looks absolutely perfect. So we got the trading card here. Fun image of Chris Van Vliet. I love the background there. The artwork's great looking. And got the Hugo Bravo art on there. And then, of course, Chris Van Vliet. So if you want to get this signed, like if you see Chris Van Vliet at a WrestleCon or some other convention, there you go. Perfect time to do it. So here's the figure. Man, I think that head sculpt is great. I know some people have knocked it, but I think that looks really, really good. I love the suit. I know a knock we've seen is that the tie is a little low, but that's not a huge deal to me. Overall, I think it looks good. We got a good head articulation here. Very, very, very tight joints. You know, it's not going to pop out or anything. Arm articulation, very nice. Moves smoothly. More arm articulation. There's no waist articulation on these suit bodies, but I don't personally see that being a big deal. I guess that may be depending upon you. Personally, I don't think it's a problem at all. We're going to zoom in a little bit there. The problem is when I zoom in, I lose their feet, which I don't like. So I guess we will zoom back out. And of course, we got the microphone with the Chris Van Vliet logo. How cool is that? So Chris can interview all the wrestlers. Got to put the microphone up. Maybe as they're coming to the ring or whatever. But great figure. I really like this one a lot. And I think Rush is doing some really fun stuff. And obviously, like there were some slips out of the gate. But what toy company hasn't had that, right? If you guys remember, the original Playmates Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles all had soft heads, and I don't think they were real well received. So Playmates came back and did the plastic heads. And I believe they were looked at a lot better from that point on. And then we had Jack Specific with the WWF line back in 1996. Not the greatest articulation. They were very loose, very wobbly. A lot of people not big fans. And so right around Series 3, it got better, right? And I would say from Series 3 on, the figures drastically improved. So, you know, what does Kyle Peterson say? Constant learning, constant improvement. That's what anybody can hope for. And we've seen it with other toy lines where maybe certain things didn't look as good or they improved things. Mattel more recently has done something. In fact, I have a Mattel figure here I can pull up and I can show you. Pinless joints, right? See his legs. This is Pat McAfee. I unboxed this a few weeks ago on the channel. His legs and his arms are pinless. That was something, and I have Static Shock here, who I just unboxed. You can see pins on that one, right? So, not a big deal to some people, but a lot of people much prefer the pinless joints. It does look a lot better. That's something Mattel made an improvement on. So if you grab an old school Mattel Elite figure, it will have the pinned joints. So, again, it's just one of those things where I think that makes it, so that you're seeing improvement throughout the line. And like I said, I think this Chris Van Vliet looks great. I love the blue suit. I love the baby blue shirt underneath. I think it looks excellent, and I was very excited to get it. And I'm excited for everything that's coming on with Rush Collectibles. I feel like things are only going to get better, especially with the monsters, with the presidents. And I'm also, like I said, I'm really excited personally for the comic book line, the Golden Age Heroes of Yesteryear. Amazing Man, Black Terror, and the Daredevil, I believe, are going to be your first assortment. These are going to be so much fun. And they're characters we don't really know, but I think that's what makes it fun. We're going to get to learn about these characters as these figures come out. And I think once those come out, we'll get another wave of them, which is going to be even more fun. So I've said for years, I think the retro Hasbro-style action figure needed other toy lines. They needed other properties because, like, back in the 90s, how cool would it have been if we got the Street Fighter characters as Hasbro or the Mortal Kombat characters in Hasbro form? We got them in G.I. Joe form, but not in the WWF Hasbro form. And how cool would that have been to mix and match with your WWF Hasbros? I think it would have been absolutely insane. And it's a shame that never happened. But now with Rush Collectibles, we're going to be able to do that. You know, you're going to be able to have Frankenstein in your Hasbro figure fed if you want, or Nosferatu, or Amazing Man, or George Washington. It's going to be so wild, and I think that's what makes it a lot of fun. But yeah, this Chris Van Vliet figure I think is awesome. I was so happy to get this. It did take a little while to get, but I think now that things are rolling, we're going to start seeing the product rolling out to customers a whole lot faster, which that's all you can ask for, right, is to improve and to make things better. And I think Sal over there at Rush knows that, and he's going to do everything in his power to make things better for the customers. So that's pretty much all I got for this edition. I don't have any more trading cards. I have officially unboxed all my trading cards, so no more of those. But I hope you guys enjoyed me unboxing all the trading cards over the last several weeks. Of course, new YouTube videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Chris Van Vliet is such a fun figure, and I'm very excited to unbox more Rush Collectibles figures. The Frankenstein I have in my possession, so that will be unboxed in the next several weeks as well. Can't wait to get to that one. And more. Also, check out the TB Toycast podcast every Thursday. We have a different main event covering a different toy line, as well as the news and things that are happening in the toy world that interest us. So check us out every Thursday wherever you get your podcasts. And like I had talked about earlier this week, I have a new YouTube project coming up for this channel. It's going to be a YouTube show for the channel. It's going to be different. It's not going to be an unboxing, but I'm working on getting that done. And hopefully going to be debuting that about once a month is my hope. And maybe more often than that, we'll see what happens. But it'll definitely be a lot of fun, and I think something that everyone can kind of sink their teeth into. So it should be good times. But thank you guys for checking out the TB Toycast YouTube channel. That is Chris Van Vliet, and we will see you guys in the toy aisle.
Yeah. One more time. It ain't over till I say it's over. So lock the cage up, cause this is a takeover. The wait's over. If this the final time we meet, then you'll be on your back on my feet. Then I'll tip the cage over as a hangover. I'm super fly so I can splash off the top. And I can shut down the shot.